You're welcome back to Mercy's Kitchen. On today's episode, let's cook this mouth-watering dish popularly called sese plantain or turning plantain in my country, Cameroon. You can also call it porridge plantain in English or plantain sauté in French. Guys, I can tell you for certainty that this is exactly the kind of dish you will need on those days that you have to eat or feed your family, but you're so tired to cook or only have an hour to prepare dinner. Do you know why? Because they say plantain only takes at most 40 minutes to prepare your ingredients and cook the meal itself. Because it basically entails you putting together all these ingredients that you see right here in the pot and letting it boil for about 30 minutes. For this dish, we're going to be using some unripe plantains, some fish, some beef. I air fried mine before using. You can boil yours if you prefer. I'll be using some bitter leaves. You can use spinach if you're in a place where you can have access to bitter leaf. Okay? Or any vegetable of your choice. But bitter leaf is the best. I'll use some salt, some crayfish, some country onions, the spice from Cameroon. I'll be using some palm oil and of course some habanero peppers. I can't cook any meal without peppers. Peppers is my second name because pepper makes the meal hot. I'll be using some Maggi cubes, some onions and garlic. You can also add in ginger. That's optional, it's up to you. So if you want to know how I make this meal, keep watching and please subscribe if you haven't and click the notification bell so every time I upload a video, you get a notification. So guys, let's cook together. In a pot on fire, I'm going to pour in some water, enough to cook my plantain for the next 30 minutes. To this water, I'm going to add in my unripe plantains. Remember, it's unripe plantains. And then I'll add in my meat that I air fried. Remember, you can also boil your meat. If you have to boil the meat, you just use the stock from it to cook your plantains and add every other thing to it. Added my fish to this. My chopped spices. In these are my peppers, onions, and garlic. I just crushed them. I didn't blend. You can blend yours if you prefer. This is optional. I added more onions to this because you know how adding more onions is optional, And then to this I added my bitter leaf. At this point, if you're using spinach, in goes your spinach or any other vegetable you prefer to use. Then add in some salt and cubes. In goes, after adding in some salt and cubes, I'm making sure it tasted well. I added in my country onions. Country onion has a very unique smell. And then in goes my palm oil. After adding in my palm oil, this is how my pot looks like. Well, what I'm going to do is I'll just cover this and let it cook for the next 30 minutes and my meal will be ready. So you see why I told you this entails you just putting in everything in the pot and letting it cook. At this point, you can grab a glass of juice or beer and watch TV while your meal cooks. 20 minutes later, guys, this is how our plantain looks like. Yummy, right? I can't wait to eat this. It's been on my mind for a while now, so anyways, at this point you can add your crayfish and then cover to boil for another 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, crayfish should be the last ingredient that goes in. Oh my goodness, the aroma coming from this family, I can't explain to you. Dinner is going to be magnificent tonight. You should definitely try this at home. It takes less than an hour to cook this meal, which is also healthy because anyway, guys, I forgot to say this. You can add more palm oil if you want, but this was okay for me, so I didn't add. And voila, a meal is ready. I hope this video was helpful to you. If yes, please subscribe. And until next time, please remain blessed.